This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. I actually got, I think, 4 hours of sleep last night, so man, I'm like really energized. And once again, we have a missing traffic reporter, and I'm sure she's going to be listening, so she is going to, I'm sorry I got to do this to you, Patty, but you're going to get the wrath of Garrett and I. Patty can't find us either. We'll see if she can make it here in 2 hours like Karen Lusk. She says, where is the building? My GPS has me at the corner of 7th and Lynn. Now that was at 5:46. I responded, it's off Guest Street, corner of Guest and 7th, 635 West 7th, Fox 19 Plaza. It is now 6:06. So in 20 minutes, she hasn't been able to make it from 7th and Lynn, which is right down the road, to here. I fear for our traffic report this morning. But you guys have something. Jake, do you want to give it to us? Or Garrett, what did you know that was going on in traffic that you noticed?
Yeah, I just come across Fort Washington Way, and so I looked it up when I got here. The ramp to southbound 7175 at Fort Washington Way is closed. Tractor trailer, I guess, overturned overnight at some point, so that's still closed. You can't get on 75, 71 south from basically the east side of town.
Right.
You go through Covington, I guess.
You see, we can be serious about our traffic on Class X in the morning when we need to be. It's just that we don't need to be very often. We're not like traffic terrorists and weather terrorists, because we know you're listening, you're a member of Bulldog Nation, so we know how you roll, because you roll the same way as we do. We're not a bunch of whim sacks, bunch of jackwagons. You know?
That's right.
We just get the job done. We're agile, hostile, mobile. Right?
Report the facts.
Report the facts that you need and nothing else. No fluff. Today we're going to cover the press conference from President Barack Hussein Obama. Oh, I got some stuff for you. And then, of course, the Tayal. We're going to cover Tayal. Did he know? Did he know? When did he know? When did he know? What did he know? I can only say this. He played like crap in the national championship game. My God. Jeez, Pete. He didn't show up. And then we get the Lance Armstrong. I swear to God, Oprah, I didn't take them steroids on purpose. They made me do it. You know what? I've changed my mind. I have gone from jackwagon to leave him alone to back to jackwagon. Because you know what I had forgotten about? What a freaking bully he was to people. I hereby challenge Lance Armstrong to a cage fight. Just as long as I avoid the scissors hold, I'll probably be okay. Can you imagine having that guy's legs wrapped around you? You're gone. Mr. Bike 6,000 miles in one day. Jeez, oh, Pete. Well, anyway, with respect, you know, I've pontificated. Oh, the NRA sends out a letter. You know what the NRA says? After I've been talking about this for a month, the NRA says, hey, aren't your children as important to be protected by a gun as their children? Thank you. Thank you very much. I am a leader in thought, in originality, in news in this country. People listen to me and follow. I've been talking about that for a month. By the way, I'm glad that they use it because it's important. And how about the old press conference, all right? How dare Obama and the other politicians consider their precious children worthy of the protection of the great equalizer, the gun. But our children and grandchildren, they got to tuck, drop, and roll under a desk and pray Mrs. Nickenpoodle got to the phone to call 911 before Mr. Psycho Biddle shot her in the ear. I watched the press conference as I ate a snappy individual pizza and salad, met staff, called clients, solved the woes, trials, and tribulations of all those trampled underfoot by the tramplers, and observed, learned, and prepared for the morning edition right here of Radio Superbity. Reading letters from those kids, Barack Obama, who, by the way, is willing to sacrifice the bullets fired by not the first responders, but those deranged possessors of firearms unconcerned with law and order or gun control laws. He has each of them to wave. As they're waving, I'm thinking, kid, do you realize he doesn't want you protected by a gun? As each waved, I felt disdain for the man who would rather use them for props rather than protect them with a gun. You see, because Obama, he throws in with the liberals. He'd rather have the good guys getting shot by the bad guy with the gun and wait for the good guy with the gun to get there to shoot at the bad guy with the gun. You wonder why our country's in the shape it's in? Because our president and others don't see the rational concept of having the good guy with the gun already there to shoot the bad guy with the gun. It is insanity. You know what I say? I say let us stand on the wall with Colonel Jessup and shoot anyone who dares shoot at those on our side of the wall. And let them shoot those on their side of the wall. That'll teach them a lesson, won't it? Hey, we'll have two kind of classrooms in America. Hey, this classroom over here, if some crazy guy comes in with the gun, we got people in there with guns to shoot the guy before they shoot you. These classrooms over here, any of you kids and family members that don't like guns, and you want to be in that classroom and the guy comes with the gun, you'll be in there, you know, tuck, drop, roll, get on that desk, pray, Mrs. Nick and Poodle will get to that phone, it'll be all right. Because if you don't want guns in schools, that's your classroom. But me and the other kids, we'll be in this classroom with guns. See which freaking classroom all the kids go to. Fires me up, Garrett.
I know it. You're dead on, though.
We got a great show for you, but then again, what the hell's new? Every one of our shows is great.
When don't we?
I know.
When aren't?
I mean, you know what? We've never had one show that, hell, we don't even have a minute of our show that sucks. Well, you know what? There was, you know, your mother yesterday.
Oh, come on.
For 30 seconds. For 30 seconds. I thought we were going to have a shitty show, but she pulled it out. Do we have even no dumb button? Jeez,
I don't even know. That's sick.
Who the heck?
Hey, 30 seconds I'll give you, but did she not turn it on yesterday?
She was the best. She was the best. Your mom, Garrett, was the best trafficker. You know, I thought Angie Prickle did a good job.
Yeah.
No.
Blew
her out of the water. Blew her out of the water. All right, this is Ace Frehley. We're going to rock it today. Who came up with the idea of playing hip-hop? Dumb decision. We're rebels. We're rock people here.
Son was fired.
Ace Frehley. On ClassX Radio. In a comic strip, Thimble Theater, Popeye. I always thought to myself, man, I wish I had his forearms. He had some good forearms. Couldn't understand a word he said, but he had some forearms. 1970 sport.
If you could have one like really awesome muscle, like really toned, you know,
bicep.
Yeah, your guns.
Or chest. No. I say chest because I saw a survey once. They like the chest. Women like the chest big better than anything else.
I'm a fat ass. So if I could get like
glutes,
abs, yeah.
Oh, abs. Oh, I take it back again. I'd rather do abs.
Yeah, abs.
I changed my mind again, abs.
This would be the toughest.
See, Patty Waddell voted for that.
Patty's all about the abs.
1970, Sporting News named Willie Mays as Player of the Decade in 1960. Say hey, Willie Mays. And all right, folks, I like Kiss. I like Aerosmith. I like all those, but I'm telling you,
He's got a soft side, folks.
I plead guilty. I like Barry Manilow. This was 1976. His #1 hit. Patty, do you like them? Barry Manilow? She said yes. I write the songs. You know, Barry writes the songs, but Garrett and I, we play the songs. We spin them, man. Got a vinyl here. Barry writes the songs, and I preach the gospel of Bulldog Nation. Also, this day in history, in 1990, Who, Simon, and Garfunkel and the Four Tops were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Also, Reagan signed a secret order permitting coke. You don't think the neatest thing about being president, besides if you were single, the babes you could get, is this? Signing secret orders. I hereby sign a secret order that I shall have peanuts, cashews, and M&M's trail mix on my Oval Office desk every day as soon as I arrive. And make it a secret executive order.
I would be so fat if I was president.
Not me, because I was president, I'd have like personal trainers rubbing me and like running me. Like while I was talking on the phone all day, I'd have people like moving my muscles so I would be in great shape. Because when you're president, you get to do anything. And I would.
I know. That's why I would have a spread for every meal. Just 50 courses.
Right. Hey, Bill Spry's chiming in here.
Don't cuss on the air.
No. Yeah, watch your language on the air.
My bad. My fault.
Did you know that Barry Manilow was broke in Cincinnati by WBN? They debuted him here. I was listening to Time. The song was "Could It Be Magic." Everybody thinks I'm nuts when I tell them that. We don't think you're nuts, Bill Spry. Manilow, EBN.
I think you're weirdo.
Yeah. We love you, Bill. Today in history, what else? President Clinton faced sexual harassment charges from Paula Jones in 1998. I'll never forget that day, Bulldog. I was getting out of bed. Hillary wasn't there, of course. And they told me the news. I said, no, Paula, don't do that to me. Dwayne Wade is 31 today. Rich, famous, and 31. Kid Rock, 42. You know what? Kid Rock would like us. You know? We're Kid Rock kind of guys. You know? Cowboy.
This is a good song.
He wrote this for me. Yeah, he did. People don't know that. Like that EBN story that Spry just told that nobody believes. I do, Bill.
Well, I'm loading up.
Listen to these lyrics. Trying to
find a spot to
Kid Rockin' up and down the block. Hey Garrett, you know what we gotta do? We gotta find an old metal soft top.
Dude, we should shoot a music video.
To shoot a music video. This song, you're right.
In like a convertible.
Write that down, Chuck. Write that down. Write that down. That's what we're gonna do.
That would be so
God, we come up with great ideas in the morning when everybody else is still in bed. Michelle Obama's 49. Can we Jack Wagon up the First Lady? I've got the guts to Jack Wagon her up. Miss, keep it moving. You mean like trailing all across the world on our dime? Yeah, I don't
horrible person.
Muhammad Ali, baby.
I'm a Jack Wagon.
Got Jack Wagon up. Muhammad Ali, 71. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Joe Frazier ain't got nothing on me. I just made that up, the second part. Joe Frazier's going down. Boy, he used to make fun of Joe Frazier. Remember he told me like a gorilla or an ape or something? It was terrible. If we did it, racist. Maury Povich is 74. Willie's idol. James Earl Jones is 82. Darth Vader, I don't know. What the? Oh my God.
He's doing the Justin Bieber song in the James Earl Jones voice.
That's funny. Betty White is 91 and still spry.
Yeah, she is. She's funny.
She is funny.
No offense, Patty.
She'd like us too. Well, Patty's funny the way she can't find it.
No. I just don't. Girls in general
aren't funny.
You know, I love Tina Fey, Amy Poehler. Funny.
Yep. Benjamin Franklin's birthday would have been today. He was the first franchisor, if you all didn't know that. Al Capone, birthday day. Favorite quote of all time, I'm sorry, it's Al Capone. You get more, because it applies to law. You get more with a kind word and a loaded gun than a kind word alone. Andy Kaufman's birthday today. Maybe we ought to play that REM song. Oh, we actually played it the other day. No military deaths to report. We are proud. And ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this song, you know, Ace Frehley. Chuck says we ought to start every show with that song. You're going to love this song. This song is going to make you feel good. We're going back to the foundation of our show, feel-good music. This is the Raspberries. Go all the way. Not you young girls. Everybody else on ClassX Radio. Read a little bit ahead. Our pop culture report's great. Wow, is it good? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we have Patty Waddell. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning.
Now, did you follow the rules? You've already broke the rules. You're too far away from the microphone.
Can't hear it.
My
Damn.
There you go. Now, this is going to be a first. We got a traffic reporter that can't do traffic. Why? Because she didn't bring her laptop. Garrett, do the honors.
You're fired, Patty. Thanks for coming in.
There you go.
Your asses can.
So, Patty,
leave the donuts.
you can leave the donuts, and Patty, you can hang out with us until your ride gets here. And Jake, go ahead and do the traffic for
I
us.
did bring my laptop. The only thing that's going on is we still have that turned over semi on Washington Way. So just trying to
careful.
avoid that.
Can't get on
Can't get on
71,
southbound.
See the glory you're missing out on, Patty? Jake's going to get your glory today. That's your punishment.
Okay.
At least you weren't 2 hours late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Patty.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it only took you 20 minutes to get here from Lynn Street as opposed to 2 hours from Covington.
I ended up in Covington.
Oh, my
You should have told us that.
My God. Patty, besides adult modeling, what else do you do for a living?
I work in home health care.
Home health care. Oh, so you're one of those people like when all of our grandmas, grandpas, aunts, and uncles get those big old bed sores because you all don't turn them over enough. We yell at people like you, right?
We don't do that.
You don't?
No.
Oh, so you don't roll them over.
No, we don't get bed sores on our
Oh, okay, good.
They're better than that.
You're better than that.
Much better than that.
Good.
You know, I am not kidding you. I got a law partner, Larry Forgy, and he defends nursing homes from these kind of things. He said the last case he had, some guy was in a wheelchair, and he was using the TV remote. He dropped the TV remote, and this old guy bent over out of his wheelchair to pick up the TV remote and broke his neck.
Oh my God.
So they're suing. I'm thinking, why? Should have had him strapped in. Yeah, but then you strap him in, you get, lawyers. You know what? You're damned if you're doing, you're damned if you don't. Lawyers suck. Don't you agree, Patty?
Yeah, especially defending a nursing home. We keep them out of nursing homes.
All right. Weather's fine. Interesting and useless facts.
Cold.
The kidneys filter over 400 gallons of blood each day. That's some filtering going on.
Mine filter over 400 gallons of booze every day.
There's some blood mixed in. J. Edgar Hoover wouldn't let his drivers make left turns. So, man, you had to, figure out how to get someplace. That's a little odd. Penguins have an organ above their eyes. Don't look at me funny when I say the word organ, Patty. Penguins have an organ above their eyes that converts salt water to fresh water. That's weird. A boomerang will return to the thrower even in space. Obviously, an astronaut must have tried that. North Canton, Ohio. You know Ohio? We have the Browns, we got the Bengals, we got the Buckeyes, we got LeBron. We got all these wonderful things. Pro Football Hall of Fame. But North Canton, Ohio is home to the Vacuum Museum. You ever been there, Patty?
No.
Oh, it's a great place to
Sounds
go.
like a hell of a Saturday afternoon. You take the family out to the Vacuum Museum.
Right.
It's a great time.
All right, Patty, we're going to test your knowledge of rock and roll history to see if you can keep up with Garrett and I.
Okay.
Eric Clapton's given birth name was what? This is hilarious. Bill Spry's raising his hand back there. I know. Bill, we know you know the answer to this.
I don't know.
I should know that.
Patrick Clapp.
I do not have a clue.
You know, no wonder he took the name of Eric. You know what Eric means, Patty?
What's it?
Eric means king. Just remember that. King.
Is it not just euphoria to listen to Clapton play guitar?
It's good. He's good. Now, William sometimes comes up with a good one because he does pick the question of the day. And, of course, I'm critical of him when he picks a bad one. Now, this is a good one. Why does it only take one careless match to start a freaking forest fire, but a whole box to start a campfire? Why is that? You know what? There's always fires are started by some carelessness, but by golly, if you want to start a fire, forget about it. All right, here, you ready for some good pop culture? Remember that old guy, Philip Drummond, on Different Strokes? Conrad Bain? Died, 89. Katie Holmes, GQ named her, the actress, as one of the top 100 hottest women, mostly due to her topless scene in The Gift. You watch Katie Holmes, now that she's unleashed from Tom, she'll be doing nude scenes, full frontals, she'll be doing everything.
Good for her.
She's
God, that would
unleashed.
be like prison to be married to that guy.
Yep. Jon Stewart, funny as heck, as always, on The Daily Show. You got this clip before I say it, because you might have had it.
On Lance?
Yeah, here's Jon Stewart's take on Lance Armstrong. You know what? When you think about it, I wonder how many people take that bracelet off and threw it in a garbage can. I'm not going to live strong anymore. I'm going to live a lie like Lance.
He started a whole trend with these freaking things.
Yeah.
I mean, this one I got on is a cancer thing.
I wish everybody in Washington would wear one. What would Lincoln do? Or what would Bulldog do? Pageant queen Catherine Webb, you know, A.J. McCarron's girlfriend from Alabama, is going to be a correspondent for Inside Edition now. She's famous.
Yeah.
There are rumors. The father denies it. The Lindsay's needing money has kind of become a high-priced call girl. Reportedly paid $100,000 to spend New Year's with a man third in line to the throne of Brunei. If you were filthy rich, Garrett, would you pay 100 grand for one night with Lindsay?
Lohan?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Well,
Lindsay
Yeah.
Lohan now or Lindsay Lohan?
She's not. It's gone. It's Lindsay Lohan now.
Okay.
Would you? Okay, Jake. 100,000 for a particular. Could you think of a woman that you would? Okay, some suggestions. If you turn to your right and look at our board, I think yes to everyone.
Yeah.
absolutely.
100 grand. I'm filthy rich. 100 grand. In other words, 100 grand isn't anything. Everyone.
Yeah.
But if I'm loaded, if I'm filthy rich, I like to think I'm getting regular ass.
Yes.
Without
either
the money.
way. You know?
Oh my God.
Little road ass. What do you think there, Patty? Yeah. Yeah.
Nike CEO Phil Knight regarding future sponsorship contracts with Lance Armstrong. Never say never. Oh well. Oh my God. Jessica Simpson appeared on Leno. Shoot. I got a question.
What do you think? Hot or
No.
I couldn't tell.
I don't, and I predict Jessica will never, ever, ever look like the Jessica in those Daisy shorts again.
I think she's hot.
Yeah, when she gets in shape.
Yeah, I don't mind the little thickness.
The little thickness. All right. Carrie Underwood, she said of her hockey player husband Mike Fisher that she doesn't worry about him cheating because she has never trusted anyone so completely, and he just wouldn't do that. Mike's good. Yeah, all right, she tried.
Good.
You watch.
In the clear.
Yeah. Taylor Swift experts say Swift's serial dating is a turnoff to some of her friends. They're starting to say that's the girl you don't want to date. I would say, who would want to? No way. CBS News anchor Bob Schieffer compared Obama taking on the gun lobby to defeating the Nazis and killing bin Laden.
Got a little out here if you would like.
Shut yourself up, Bob Schieffer. I used to like him until he got political. I mean, he just unveiled himself. All right, what song do we have here, baby? Well, we got to finish up. We got that.
Little Ramones.
Pop culture. The other two things aren't important. This is the Ramones. Do you remember Rock and Roll Radio? Yes, I remember Rock and Roll Radio on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. Is there anything going on in traffic, Jake?
Nope. Same thing.
Jake says no. Patty Waddell, since you don't have to do traffic, but you're going to hang with us for a while, do you have anything you'd like to say to Bulldog Nation given this wonderful opportunity? Or go ahead, I'll tell it. Just hold tight. I'm just going to ask you a series of questions. LeBron James, at the age of 28, became the youngest player in the NBA to score 20,000 points. Your thoughts on that, Patty Waddell?
Oh, I'm happy that he did that, but I don't like LeBron, so sorry.
Why not? What's wrong with LeBron? Just because he left Cleveland?
No, he's cocky.
Who wouldn't want to leave Cleveland? Philadelphia Eagles. Oregon's Chip Kelly was hired yesterday, after saying he wasn't, to replace Andy Reid of the Philadelphia Eagles. Was that a good move by Chip Kelly? All right. Texas Rangers left-handed pitcher Matt Harrison was signed for a 5-year, $55 million contract. Is there anything you would not do for $55 million?
A lot of things I wouldn't do, yeah.
Would you have sex with anybody for $55 million?
No.
You would not?
No.
Anybody
Garrett,
with two
Garrett,
arms,
would
two legs?
you?
Absolutely.
Yes. Would you have sex with an animal, Garrett, for $55 million?
Well, bestiality? Yeah.
All right. Notre Dame football star Monte Tao, I could never say his name. Teo.
This is messed up
You never saw that does that? Teo. Boy, boom, boom, boom.
Gonna come
And then here we go.
Who is that?
I don't know.
It was in that movie.
He's expected to address the media at some point today about his supposedly dead girlfriend, who isn't really dead because she allegedly isn't real.
I bet you he doesn't take any questions.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of this? Have you ever lied about a make-believe boyfriend to make your friends jealous? Patty Waddell.
No.
All right.
Why would he? I don't get the whole. We got to talk about this more in depth. I
We
just
can do
don't-
it right now.
I don't get the benefit that he was trying to. Personally, I think he knew. I think
Well,
he was in on
obviously,
this the whole time.
well, obviously, you can move on and keep playing football if your girlfriend who died, you never freaking met her. She's online.
Right? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Boy, you're really bonded to her.
I mean, I mean, like his grandma died, but people's grandmas die, and when
Right.
you're in college, I mean, hell,
Right.
mine were passed away before
Right.
I was. So it's like that. It's not a huge issue. I mean, sad, yeah. You never want to see your grandma die, but the girlfriend, it just had sympathy. I don't understand the point other than the publicity and the potential Heisman. And look what it got him.
Well, you know,
he would not have been in that Heisman race if it weren't for that story.
I'm having to deal with the same kind of thing on a national level. New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and other major media outlets are calling me. You know, I'm the official autobiographer or biographer, however you want to put it, of Willie. And they did some fact checking and found out like 90% of the stories that Willie told me that I put in the book about his background and everything else, totally false.
Complete falsehoods.
Complete falsehoods. So now Willie's, you know, whole autobiography is under attack, and I'm having to deal with that. And I'm like, come on, Willie. Willie goes, I stand by it, dog. Everything I told you was true. So these things happen. Xavier AD, Mike Bobinski's leaving Xavier to take over as AD at the Georgia Institute of Technology. That sounds like a step up.
Xavier won last night, by the way, by 2 points. Beat St. Bonnie's. A little runner by Samaj
A little runner.
with seconds to play.
What do you think about the hockey strike ending, Patty Waddell? Does that make you happy? Have you ever played hockey? Have you ever dated a hockey player?
No.
I asked you 3 questions. You said no to all 3?
Is that
Well,
a
I've never
universal-
played hockey. I went to a couple games. I like the fights.
Patty, you're a client of mine and also a fan. And don't you think that witnesses should fear being cross-examined by me?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. The
You
person.
make me nervous sitting next to you.
You know what, Patty? The man that dared to strike your car with his car, when I cross-examine him, he'll probably have to be carried out on a stretcher because he's probably going to be that beat up. I just want to tell you that's my commitment to you.
All right.
Why does my
And I
pen
got it on YouTube, so.
You know why? Because that
full of ink?
those ClassX pins, no, they're not ClassX pins, but they're in that mug, suck. You need to get high-class Uniball pins.
Yeah. Well, I'm not loaded, so I use the
Here, you
cheap
can have
stuff.
mine.
And look, I can see the ink in the pen, and it's not coming out.
Jake, can you get me another one of those pins?
Sure
I
can.
Here. Thank you, buddy. What would we do without Jake? Give Oracle status to Jake.
This thing doesn't work.
It does too.
Oracle for Jake.
Thank you, Jake.
Uh-huh.
Boone County dismemberment. 19-year-old Daniel Delphin of Walton has been identified as the victim of the murder dismemberment. I was explaining this to my wife last night. You know, why'd they kill him? Why'd they do that? Oh, my God. 3 suspects will appear in Boone District Court, and they look like killers. They look like, don't you think they look like killers? They look like killers to me.
Oh, these dismember.
Dismembered kind of guys. And how about Barack Obama's economy as we find out the Gap is closing 2 distribution centers in Hebron on June 30th. 350 employees will be getting phased out. Can you imagine being phased? I hope Bill Spry doesn't phase us out.
Yeah.
Then again, though, you know what? Think about this. If we're the best morning show in the country, he couldn't replace us with anybody.
Right, who's he going to get?
You know? Jungle Jim's opening up a 5,000 square foot liquor store. You know why? Because everybody knows the country's going to hell in a handbasket, so it's buy guns and drink.
Right.
Get loaded.
What else do we have? Stephen Shabbat was appointed chairman of the Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Asia and the Pacific. Wasn't that really special?
Oh my God, I just had an idea.
What?
Open an ammo and liquor store all in one and call it Get Loaded.
Wow! Write that down!
I'm a freaking genius!
Write that down!
God, I'm a
Get
genius!
Loaded franchises from coast to coast to Get Loaded. Can I be your partner?
Oh my, you could do everything for it.
Get
Just like
Loaded.
that and then just give me
I love it.
Oh, I'm so freaking smart.
Man, that is franchising all over, baby. Get Loaded. Ho ho. Shayna Ubers pled not guilty in the murder of Ryan Poston. She's toast. NKU is negotiating to purchase a senior apartment building. They want to bring in some more seniors. Metro's awarded a $200,000 contract. Judge James Schran in Boone County sentenced John Studel 80 years in prison for the rape of the underage girl over 12 times. He raped her at a homeless camp. Batavia's man's ashes were stolen. How do you do that?
That's a sad story. I think that the guy probably thought it was like a box of jewelry.
Oh my.
I was pretty pissed when he got home.
When we come back, we got legal news. And William reported a story of mine, I think, without even knowing it. Politics and more. And of course, we have Jake doing traffic while Patty Waddell helps him. This is Bob Seger from the Spry collection, Her Strut, on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. Do we got anything going on in traffic? Jake, who is Patty Waddell's assistant. Patty Waddell is the first traffic reporter to bring us food and also ask her assistant, Jake, to do the traffic.
Yeah. Well, we still had that turned over truck, Washington Way, so be careful of that. It's really slow.
Why doesn't everybody get out of their cars and pick the truck back up,
Work together,
and move on?
And then
You guys do that at the zoo when you feed the apes?
Yeah.
You work together.
Elephant falls over, pick him back up.
Right.
And then
Badass
there's just a little
car.
incident, Ronald Reagan Highway at Galbraith Road and Knollcrest Drive.
What went on there?
Just
An
a
elephant
little
dung?
accident.
Oh, an
yeah,
accident.
elephant
Okay.
dung spilled on the street.
How big is a pile of elephant dung? If one takes a big steamer, good size.
I'm sure it's a few hundred pounds.
I've seen it. It's like an Indian teepee.
I heard they go through, I'll have to find the number, but a certain amount. But they take it and they use it all towards like renewable energy. So
I was going to say, there's a ski lift at a Vermont ski resort I went to one time that uses cow dung to power one of their lifts.
Man,
cool.
that's not going green. That's going brown.
Going around.
A 47-year-old New Jersey man is missing $400,000 worth of diamonds. They were stolen out of his car as it sat in the parking lot of the Sweet Tomatoes restaurant in Orlando. $400,000 in diamonds. What the hell were you doing with that in your car?
Yeah.
Patty Waddell, have you ever had $400,000 worth of diamonds?
No.
Are you married?
No.
I didn't think that was that tough of a question.
Yeah, it's not. Usually I'd say pretty cut and dry.
Okay, not
Not
legally.
completely married, not legally married,
Not
like
legally.
so you're living in sin.
Shush.
We're gonna have a preacher come in here, and I'm telling you right now, we're gonna tell on you. We're gonna say, Dan, she's living in sin.
No, even better. Have your friend or whatever come in here. We'll marry you right here.
You know,
There you go.
hey, let me marry you. I've been waiting because I'm a minister now. I can marry people, and nobody's asked me to marry them yet. My feelings are kind of hurt.
I'll talk to Norm about it.
Thank you,
Norm?
Norm.
Norm. You gotta like Norm.
Norman.
Norm.
Crook County, Oregon Sheriff Jim Hensley says he isn't going to enforce any federal gun law in his territory. They've appointed a psychiatrist has been named in that a lawsuit over the Aurora, Colorado killer. By the way, I was thinking about that. Can you imagine being the psychiatrist appointed to go, see if Holmes is crazy? I would say, seen the pictures. He's crazy. I don't need to meet with him. It's like,
I would like, that would be funny if I kind of walked in the room with him and 2 seconds later.
Walk right back.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Yeah, he's nuts. Yep. That guy's nuts.
No, you know what he should do is walk in and say, nope, he's good to go. Go give him a trial.
Now, I got to ask you a question, Patty Waddell. Are you allowed to name the place that you work? Like, would you like to give them some free advertising right here on ClassX Radio for the million of people? Get rid of that! That box has got to go out of the way!
What the?
Go ahead, Patty.
Amenity Home Healthcare. We're located at 1172 West Galbraith Road.
And by the way, I didn't mean the word promote. I mean give in some information. Give information. Go ahead. Well, you're doing fine. Go ahead.
We do any kind of in-home care necessary. We take care of the elderly and disabled. We have a Facebook page. You can look us up on there. We also have a website at amenityhomehealthcare.net. And we'd be more than happy to help anybody out that needs it.
Have you ever seen the actual demographics of how ClassX Radio is listened to? 95% of all geriatric aged people in the tri-state. In other words, if you were to sponsor our show, you would reach 98% of geriatric patients in the tri-state because old people love us. Just saying. Just keep that in mind.
Will do.
Do old people carry guns?
A lot of them, yeah.
Mm-hmm. By the way, didn't you love Joe Biden saying, coming out there yesterday and talking about his task force? They've met over 200 groups. Hey, Joe, I don't have to meet with over 200 groups to know what the hell to do. And they're always making committees and everything. Let's form a committee. And Barack Obama telling those kids, say hello, Bill. Say hello, Bob. Say hello, Lynette. God. Obama's $500 million gun control package. He recommends requiring criminal background checks for all gun sales, reinstating the assault weapons ban. What the hell's an assault weapon anyway? Restoring a 10-round limit on ammunition magazines. God help you if you got 11 to kill. Eliminating armor-piercing bullets. Providing mental health services in schools. Don't we already have mental health services in schools? I don't know if we do or not. Allocating funds to hire more police officers. Now, that cracks me. I'm going to get back to that. Instituting a federal gun trafficking statute. Now, I find it really interesting allocating funds to hire more police officers because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what are you saying, Mr. President? Are you saying we need more good guys with guns to shoot back? It's hypocrisy. More cops. Well, wait a minute. Cops have guns. Jeez. He enacted 23 measures, executive orders, including appointing a director of the ATF. Oh, we didn't already? Ordering the CDC to study gun violence. We need more study. Guess what? Federal law, okay? They passed a law that increased sentencing if you do a crime with a gun, okay? Federal violent crime down 23%. Do you know the best way to eliminate crime in this country? People who commit a lot of it, you put them away.
Right.
Joe Deters told me that. You know what? Bad people who commit crimes over and over and over again, you put them away, crime goes down.
Exactly.
And guess what? The 2 people in these last 2 shootings, or 3 shootings, had nothing to do with that. Rand Paul's going to fight like a warrior poet, he says. He's going to fight, fight, fight. What do you got there? I just want to see. Governor Rick Perry on Obama's gun control package. The piling on the political left and its cohorts in the media to use massacre little children and advance pre-existing political agenda that would not have saved those children. Disgust me personally. That's what Rick Perry said. Second Amendment to the Constitution, the basic right of free people cannot be nor will be abridged by the executive power. This is from the guy who couldn't name us 5 departments of federal government. Senator Marco Rubio, he's going to fight on too. They're going to fight, fight, fight. What do you think What's your position on gun control, Patty Waddell? As a woman, what do you think about gun control and all that good stuff? Give us your perspective.
Well, I think it's quite stupid. I mean, the criminals are going to have the guns no matter what. So why take away the rights of the legal carrying people, you know?
Well,
what are they going to do? I mean, the criminals
Right.
are just going to take over the whole streets like...
Right. I agree, Patty. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, Garrett promised me that this is a great song. So if it sucks, blame him. It's Oasis, Wonderwall on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. We are going to have a great show today as well. We're already having a great show. Pastor Dan Francis from StandInTheRoom.com, Latonia Baptist Church will be in at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, we have a report about the drug issue in this country. Laura Kruthofer will be in here. We also might have a tax professional. Sensible Don, Sarah Jones will do our Friday traffic. And speaking of traffic, what do we got, Garrett? Since Patty Waddell forgot to bring... Listen, if you're applying for a traffic reporter's job here, you better bring your laptop.
Bring your laptop, iPad,
something.
Just that ramp to 7175 south from Fort Washington Way is still closed from a tractor trailer that overturned. That was before we even got here. And then an accident on Ronald Reagan Highway westbound at Galbraith.
All right. You know, I watched Joe Biden get up there and speak yesterday, and just, what a nitwit. And then you had Barack Obama get up there and he reads parts of these letters that these kids wrote. And I'm thinking to myself, you are shameless to use kids for props, especially when you're not willing to protect those kids with guns. No, 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 no. You're unwilling to do that, aren't you, Mr. President? And then I remembered, you know, we have a debt situation in this country of $16.4 trillion and counting. $1 trillion budget deficit. A disaster of an economy. Obamacare. It goes on and on and on. And here's this jackwagon up there wanting to mess around with the Second Amendment. Well, he's got his priorities straight, doesn't he? Not. And then when they talk about all of this gun control stuff, I mean, what does it say that they ignore facts? Guess what? Chicago, they took the guns away from the lawful. Look what happened. Murder zone. Fox News actually took signs to gun control advocates and asked them to put their sign in their yard that said, "This is a gun-free home." And they wouldn't let them do it. You know, why doesn't Barack Obama get rid of all of his security guards and all of his guns and all of his protection for his kids and his wife? It's going to be interesting to me if a reporter asks him that question and see what he says. Well, of course he won't. He'll duck it and go on to something, you know. Well,
No, of course nobody will ask him that.
But it's just, it is so stupid. And that's why Coast to Coast, Get Loaded is coming to a neighborhood near you.
Liquor store combined.
Ammo store.
Ammunition store.
Liquor and ammo. Get Loaded. The brainchild of Garrett Sablehouse. By the way, I felt bad about this last night, but my son was eating in the living room next to me while I was watching television. And because you love your kids no matter what, right? He was eating so loud. I was tempted to say, what the? I didn't. Didn't want to hurt his feelings. Just let him keep eating.
What did he do? Is he a big lip smack or does he just chomp away?
Chomping away on his cereal. My God, close your mouth.
Hate that.
Should I have been you know what, I know there's people out there saying, you should have told him.
Yeah.
That's how he's going to learn. The problem is, folks, I have already told him countless times and it doesn't make any difference. I mean, I let it slide. I let it slide, Patty. Should I not let it slide?
No, I wouldn't. I can't stand a chomper.
You can't stand chomper?
Chompers are the worst. Who did I knew somebody was a bad chomper.
Chompers and lip smackers. It's
Yeah.
gross.
I did it when I was like real young, and my parents beat it out of me. Haven't beat me, but
There was a great analysis in the Wall Street Journal all the way back in December, and I saved this article. And between 1891 and 2007, our nation grew at a 2% annual growth, which allowed us to double every 35 years the standard of living. And he talked about, like in 1875, it was the big explosion, like Edison's light bulb was in 79, the power station in 82. And he goes through our American history, and most recently the computer age and everything. And this guy concludes, his name is Gordon Stanley Harris. His name is Gordon. He is with the Stanley Harris Professor in the Social Services of Northwestern University. And he says the future of American economic growth is dismal and policy solutions are elusive. Skeptics need to come up with a better rebuttal. And what he's saying is that the standard of living, especially with their economic growth, there's nothing out there on the horizon. I've been saying this, that the only thing that I saw that could help our economy, and he references this in there, but he thinks it'll be fleeting, is energy. You know, the whole fracking and, you know, drilling everywhere is going to be a big job creator. But it's going to be interesting. You know, all of a sudden, boom, computers. Like, is there a whole new industry like that out there waiting to happen, Patty Waddell? Can you think of one? Whoa, I know. Bulldog Nation. Bulldog Nation could trigger an economic revolution in this country. But other than that,
Well,
what do you think?
getting loaded might work.
Oh, get loaded's going to definitely work.
nothing's that's going to take off.
And you're familiar, are you not, with Charles Dickens, Patty Waddell?
Yes.
He wrote Great Expectations, among other great works. Well, he apparently was kind of tough on his friends, like, I don't know, just weird. And there's a new book out about him, and I read this Wall Street Journal article, and I'm telling you, because you know, we got Beethoven, we got Shakespeare. We're cultured, Patty. We're cultured.
I like the Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, baby. And there's a story about, what they talk about in here, this article was about his kids. And all his kids were, like he forced them to like go places. Like he had one that was working in Australia, one worked there, one worked there. And his relationship with his children was very interesting. And I think one of the most one of the saddest observations I make is how some rich and famous people are completely lousy parents when they have the opportunity to be just the opposite. Wonderful parents. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some rich and famous people that are great parents. But if I became the next Rush Limbaugh, the next Judge Judy, the next Jon Stewart, the next whatever, Bill O'Reilly, and all wrapped in one, and I had lousy relationships with my kids and family, I would be freaking miserable.
Yep.
Wouldn't you?
I would be terribly miserable. Speaking of kids, can I tell you about how today is my daughter's 33rd birthday?
Well, let's give her oracle status.
Hey!
33rd?
33rd.
It's a big year.
You know, it's a special year because that's the year Jesus Christ died. He was 33.
That was also the year I started living again.
What do you mean?
I got divorced and met my new man, and that's when I started.
The one you're living in sin with, that we're going to tell on you with Father Preacher Dan. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Journey, when we come back, we're going to have some more radio superbity. Do you like Kiss? I mean, not to Kiss. I'm talking about the rock band Kiss.
Yes.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Horrible.
We don't have a Kiss
we
poster.
don't have like. Yeah, I hate Kiss.
We can't put a Kiss poster. They're iconic. They're the first big hair band.
Go ahead with the poster. I just like to make it known that I think they're terribly overrated.
Thank you.
They used to be really good.
Used to be.
Well, I haven't.
Here, will you put that on the laptop that Jake brought so he could do traffic for us since you didn't bring your laptop?
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite Kiss songs. Rock and roll all night.
Yep.
Party every day. Check out them drums. ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Jake, I just want to let you know that you did a fine job getting us some Frisch's.
Thank you.
To chase down those cinnamon donuts that Miss Patty Waddell brought in. Patty Waddell, of course, being the traffic reporter, that came completely unprepared without her laptop. But we let her stay anyway as she waits for the taxi. Well, actually, she got fired and kicked out, but we have to have some sympathy for her. So we have to keep her in here until the taxi comes to get her.
Patty, did you think that we had a helicopter that you would come in and
Fly around the city.
Start flying around to do the traffic, or
I mean, what were you thinking?
what was your motive thinking here?
I have no idea. It's too early in the morning to think.
What do you mean it's too early in the morning? We get up early and come do a radio show.
That's right. We entertain you in the morning. How often do you listen to us?
Every day.
Time to wake up.
And I'm like in between patients. I can't
You
have
need
it
to have
going all
it
the
on
time. Now I
time.
put my headphones on and listen on here.
Patients can wait.
Hey,
Patients
does
can never wait.
do you guys have to wash the old guys as willy whackers in that nursing home?
I don't do a nursing home.
Do you have
I
a
do
special?
home care.
Oh, home care. Well, home care. Do you like have a special person that does that?
No.
It's like a special assignment.
Who bathes them, clips them?
Whoever the aide is that.
So there is somebody that has to
Well,
bathe
if
them.
they wash, I mean, if they are competent.
What do you do, leave
they
them
wash their
dirty?
own private area.
But what if they're not competent?
Well, then we have to do it.
Do you ever hire the perverts kind of sneak into your employment?
You can't. No, the laws changed in January, and it's like crazy.
I mean, like crazy.
You
Like,
could,
you
but
You got to have a master's degree to go clean somebody's willy whacker?
Pretty much, it's coming down to that, and a credit report.
So you're
and
saying
a-
regulations are killing your business?
Absolutely.
big time background checks.
Five different agencies.
Dang, dog.
And I couldn't apply there. I wouldn't be able to be hired.
But that's even before you just go to get fingerprinted. You got to do 5 on the computer and then go send them for FBI.
If you did a background check on Chuck, you'd find out that he's got warrants filed for his arrest from every state between here and Arizona when he drove out there. Him and Mike Zimmerman lived off the land, so to speak. And there's warrants out for their arrest from here all the way to Arizona.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Wow, I don't want to be sitting around him.
Well, they didn't have any money, so they'd stop at a convenience store, hold it up, get what they needed, move on, fill up. I'm just teasing about that. I'm just teasing about that.
It was like the Wild Wild West. You hold up the
Now the
general store.
speeding tickets that he got, that's a different ball game.
Yeah, well.
Garrett, what's going on in traffic out there?
Same as before that accident on Ronald Reagan westbound at Galbraith. And then the ramp from Fort Washington Way to get on the 7175 south is closed from an earlier overturned tractor trailer.
What I'm about ready to announce is major, it's epic, it's important. This is a unique opportunity, by the way, if you're male, not interested. No offense against you men, but this is not a job that I want to be working with a man. I guess I'll take that back. Maybe so, but probably not. I need, the growth in my law firm is so great. I interviewed another lawyer yesterday. That I need a personal, when I say personal, you're only going to be allowed to work for me. None of the other jackwagon lawyers in my office. I mean Oracle lawyers in my office. Just me. And I want you to be experienced in the legal field. In other words, sorry, all you youngsters out there, I am too impatient to train. I would prefer that you have experience both in Ohio and Kentucky, you know, working for a law firm maybe that worked both Kentucky and Ohio, so you kind of understood both sides of the aisle. If not, that's okay. You better know at least one of them, because you'll learn the other one better. But I'm looking for a very experienced, or as experienced as possible, legal paralegal. Now you say, well, why is this so epic? What are you talking about? You get to be my paralegal. You're going to be famous.
If you're lucky, you may just meet me.
Because I'm going to be famous, so then you're famous. You will become a television star by just being my paralegal. So it is an opportunity of a lifetime. But I'm telling you, I'm sorry, you have to have experience. Unless you look like one of the girls on the wall here. Yeah. No, I'm just teasing. In fact, if you are ugly, you got a better chance of the job. Why? No issues with the wife, no issues with the other ladies in the office. If you're smoking hot and experienced, we'll have to work through that, because I'm telling you, that creates all kinds of issues. And I'm gonna take this a step further. I bet you Chuck's ready to die hearing all this. You're probably going to work in the same office as me. That's right. I mean the same office. The door will be kept open at all times. Now you're going to say, well, why is this? Well, I got an office big enough for you to sit there with everything you're going to need, your phone, your computer, your laptop, which you won't forget. And the reason why is because when I do my thing, I move at a fast pace. And instead of having to yell for you, come in, you might as well just work at the same darn office as I do. So just imagine this. You're going to get paid, what's minimum wage now, Garrett?
$7.70.
You're going to get paid $7.70 an hour. I'm just teasing, okay? You know what? If people wouldn't, you know what? I got to say I'm just joking, because some people wouldn't apply because they think I'm teasing about that. You're going to be paid. You get the honor of being the Bulldog's personal paralegal, and you're going to be a television star.
Yeah, so you're going to want to get those applications and news photos into Garrett Sablehouse at gmail.com. At least one nude photo to go with every application. Thanks.
And you know what? This is really, really important, because I've got an interview this morning already, 11 o'clock. So if you're interested, you better move fast. Eric at ericdeters.com. Send your resumes. I was saying that, Chuck, because I thought you would think I was nuts, that's all. Chuck takes things personally.
No, he takes things a little
I was
serious.
not making fun of you, Chuck.
Now, really, what's going to happen?
I was going to make fun of Garrett. Oh, by the way, our Boone County connection says that. Oh no, Phil, your buddy Phil, your good buddy Phil, my electrician.
Oh yeah.
Phil says to you, Kiss overrated? Huh. Red Hot Chili Peppers overrated.
Hey, let me tell you something, you hillbilly. The Red Hot Chili Peppers are probably the greatest band to ever grace this earth. You will bow down to them. Kiss is the worst band ever. Phil.
How dare you call Kiss?
Hey, Phil! Moron.
Ah!
Phil, what are you, an electrician? 40 grand a year? Idiot. God.
Phil, I got your back. What song do we have to play? Oh! Well, we got, you know what? This song is the official song. Now, George Harrison, What Is Life, is our promo, but
the official.
But the official song is right here. Now, don't read it. Don't give it away, Patty. Read that and tell me if you like that song.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right. You know, Angie Brickle knows Joe Schmiotti. I couldn't believe it. She said, you know Joe? She goes, oh, I know Joe. And I said, really? And the reason why is because I always tell the story that Joe and I would drive around in his Chevelle. He had a blue Chevelle, and he drove like a freaking maniac. I used to ride on the hood, and he would try to throw me off the car. Thank God he never was successful. But we used to cruise McDonald's in Florence. Hey, that was what you did back in the day in 1980, 81. You cruised McDonald's. And you had 8-track tape, which really sucked because you couldn't rewind it and play it over and over again. So you had to listen to like 3 crappy songs. Crappy songs.
Crappy songs
before.
Spin the little wheel to rewind it.
Everybody's out there dying to know what this song is. They're dying. You can hear it, Andy. They're dying.
Yep.
One-hit wonder, but boy, was it a good one.
Yep.
Trooper. Raise a Little Hell on ClassX Radio.
What?
We're going to discuss now. Well, let's do traffic. Is there anything new in the traffic before we get going on the Teal controversy?
There is. Same thing that Ramp from Fort Washington Way to southbound 7175 is still closed from a tractor trailer overturned earlier. In Cincinnati, disabled vehicle on Westwood Northern Boulevard between Fife and Montana. Accident on Glenway at Gilsey. Disabled vehicle right shoulder blocked on 275 eastbound at Reed Hartman. And the other accident's been cleared, so that's it.
All right. That's great. All right. Patty Waddell, since you brought in assistants to do traffic for you since you forgot your laptop, we want to give you the opportunity to make a statement here and a public apology to Bulldog Nation. Go. It wasn't a very good apology that you forgot your laptop.
Excuse us, this is an honor, a privilege to be sitting in that
Do you
seat.
know how many people I said, you know how many people I said no to because you were on the schedule for today?
No, how many?
349.
There's a lot of them.
Chuck and Chad counted them for me.
Really?
Yes. 349.
You were chosen. It's like winning the lottery.
Okay.
Those odds. 1 in 349. So, just, you know, you're lucky.
All right.
Lucky to be here, Patty.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get the facts. You know, the first thing you got to do is deal with the facts. Not long before Notre Dame played Michigan State last fall, word spread that Fighting Irish linebacker Teo had lost his grandmother and girlfriend within hours of each other. He never missed a practice, made a season-high 12 tackles, 2 pass breakups, fumble recovery, and a 20-3 victory over the Spartans. His inspired play became a stirring storyline for the Fighting Irish as they made a run to the national championship. Think about this, Garrett. You crushed in the big game. Brian Kelly does an interview with the Eagles, and now this. Teo's grandmother did a deed and died. His girlfriend, Lene Kikuo, never existed. In a shocking announcement Wednesday night, Notre Dame said Teo was duped into an online relationship with a woman whose death from leukemia was faked by perpetrators of an elaborate hoax. The goal of the scam wasn't clear, though Notre Dame said it used an investigative firm to dig into the details after it was disclosed to them 3 weeks ago. Remember how bad he played the night of the championship game? Some other things were on his mind. The hoax was disclosed hours after Deadspin posted a lengthy story saying it could find no record of Kikuo ever existing. The story suggests a friend of Teo's may have carried out the hoax and that the football player may have been in on it. A stunning claim. This is incredibly embarrassing to talk about, said the player, but over an extended period of time I developed an emotional relationship with a woman I met online that he never met. We maintained what I thought to be an authentic relationship online by communicating frequently online and on the phone, and I grew to care deeply about her. However, he stopped short of saying he ever met her in person. To realize that I was a victim, what was apparently someone's sick joke and constant lies, painful and humiliating. In retrospect, I should have been more cautious. Word of the hoax spread quickly and raised questions about whether the school somehow played a role in pushing the tale. Notre Dame Athletic Director Jack Swarbrick said at the news conference that he had received a call from Kikuo's phone number while at an award ceremony during the first week of December. When he answered it, it was a person whose voice sounded like the same person he had talked to, who had told him that she was, in fact, not dead. The football player was unnerved by that, as you might imagine. Swarbrick said the school hired investigators, and their report indicated those behind the hoax were in contact with each other discussing what they were doing. The investigators were able to discover online chatter among the perpetrators that was certainly the ultimate proof of this, the joy they were taking. Wow, that's cruel. You know what? If he did not know and he is innocent, that is kind of sad. Because he's going to look stupid.
He's going to look, already, I mean, no matter what, he's completely naive or stupid.
Now
or
get
both.
this, now get this. Friends and relatives of Ronio told Deadspin they believed he created Kikuo. The website, Tio and the other guy knew each other. Attempts to reach that guy by telephone were unsuccessful. As for Keo, Deadspin said she does not have a death certificate. She wasn't ever at Stanford. There are a few Twitter and Instagram accounts registered. He talked crazy. In a story that appeared in South Bend Tribune on October 12th, Teal's father, Brian, recounted an anecdote about how his son and her met after Notre Dame had played Stanford. Met? Well, how did he meet her? Unless it was somebody that said she was her, but it wasn't her.
There are some things in that story, that being one of them, that don't add up. That really make it seem like he knew. Which, what benefit did it?
No, I disagree with that. Because they said Notre Dame wouldn't come out and do that if they did an investigation.
I think absolutely they would. They're trying to protect him. Because there's not criminal charges. There's no way to get...
Here's why that's not the case. Because the people that are in on it, if he was in on it, they could turn on him in a minute. And they're going to say, oh, yes, he was in on it.
They're saying that. Like the guys that the Deadspin.com is the one that broke this story. And they did the entire investigation, talked to all these sources, people with... And the one guy said he is 80% sure. Now, that's not 100, so he's not positive. 80% sure that Teo knew what was going on. That he knew about the whole thing the whole time.
Did Jim Scott know, and when did he know?
I highly doubt Jim Scott had a clue. Jim Scott doesn't even know about this story yet.
Man, that's sad.
It's just a weird situation.
Mm-hmm. Gets you fired up, though, doesn't it?
I mean, it's just, my whole thing is like, why? Why did this happen in the first place? The only thing I can imagine is the publicity that he got from it and the possible Heisman, to get into the Heisman race, which he did.
I never thought about that.
It's just, other than that, it's going to tarnish your reputation.
Hey, at this break, I'd like to talk to you, Garrett, and Jake about how maybe we could create something really bad happen to both of you to get me a Marconi. Like, you can start battling cancer, Jake could be kidnapped, and on our show we try to get Jake back
and then while
you're battling cancer, and we do our show anyway.
And then I die on the air one day.
And you die on the air one day, and I win a Marconi, and I split the money with the three of you.
Dude.
And
Jake says he's in.
Sweet, let's do it.
Hey, Jake, you've had a funny story about Kiss. You're a young man, you're 21. Your first concert was
Kiss. My dad took me when I was...
Jake...
my first concert was Kiss. My dad took me when I was 8. It was the first reunion tour. All original members of the band.
Call social services.
It was probably a horrible show.
Social services, Fort Mitchell, that Todd Slagle took his 8-year-old son to a Kiss concert.
You know what's even a funnier story? Not that I remember. The thing I remember the most is Ted Nugent went on beforehand. And I was scared and I cried.
Oh wait! After we play this song, can we get Ted Nugent's Cat Scratch Fever to honor Ted and lay the gun? We ought to play some Ted. Patty Waddell, do you have anything else to say about not bringing your laptop today?
No.
You talk too much.
I know.
You're as bad as Angie Prickle. Yap, 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 yap. I tell you right now, these traffic reporters, you can never get them to shut up. Do you have it? Let me tell you, we got a poster up here. This is funny, folks. AC/DC giving the dog a bone, but yet my two guys can't find the song. Do we have the song? There we go on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Apparently the linebacker is going to have a press conference sometime today. I say he's innocent. Garrett says he's guilty, and joining us is Reverend Dan Francis, who also has passed judgment. What say you?
My judgment would be that this man needs to realize the mistake of Lance Armstrong and know that the cover-up is worse than the lie. Just lay it out there.
Well, it is the cut. You know, everybody, I always think Watergate, you might as well admit. Let me give you an example of how I've done that 2 times. In 25, I'm not afraid to say this, 25 years practicing law, a young lawyer in my office, this was a long time ago, 15 years ago, made a mistake. And then a couple years ago, There was a mistake that was made on a, thank God it was only a $1,600 mistake. Anyway, the bottom line was, both times, you know what I did? Called the client in, face to face. We screwed this up, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what that avoids? It avoids ethical issues, it avoids criminal issues, it avoids everything. You start down that trail of cover-up, not good.
Yeah. Because it will, like you said, it'll come out at some point.
Unless you can get away with it.
If you're foolproof,
Okay, that changes everything. On second thought.
That was a little humor there, okay?
You're
a little
right.
humor.
If it's foolproof that you can get away with it.
Yeah, you know, if you know you're gonna not get caught.
But this story is going to get uncovered.
This is going to get and this is going to follow him. I mean, this is one of those things you just don't ever get away from.
Legal consequence.
Right.
There's nothing that's going to happen.
You know what I'm hoping? I hope he drops in the draft enough for my Dallas Cowboys to put him in the middle with Sean Lee.
Well, that's the big thing. That's the one thing that's going to affect him negatively, really, in his life is where his stock goes.
Okay.
Now it all depends on how he ends up playing.
Well, see, here's what he's going to make. Let's say he's not part of it. They're still going to make fun of him for just having an online girlfriend. Now, does this change the rules? Does this change the rules? Okay, in the future, going forward, you're an All-American college football player, and you report your girlfriend dies. Here is a scenario with your athletic director and coach in the meeting. Hey man, Zach, we're really sorry you lost your girlfriend. We got a few questions because we got pretty elaborate policy on this. All right. First question, she was your girlfriend. Was she your online girlfriend or like real life see her in person girlfriend? Because if she was just your online girlfriend, we want you to play. Now if she was your girlfriend that you knew, you went to the drive-in theaters and stuff with, all right, we'll let you miss. But we got to know, online, real.
Make believe.
Because you can play when it's just the online girlfriend dies, and it's like, man, I really kind of liked her. I was looking forward to meeting her, but she's dead. I can play.
Maybe they're going to build into his contract when he's a pro, whether or not, if they're real, he gets more money. If they're not,
can you imagine how much fun they're going to make of that guy? Rookie camp.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Hey, would you like to meet my girlfriend? Her email address is da-da-da-da-da. Would you like to meet my girlfriend? You can Twitter her at... Hey, let's ask the woman in the room. Now, Patty, you got to put that microphone. You turn that microphone on for us, Gary. You got to put it right in front of you, just like the other one. Have you ever had an online boyfriend?
No.
Have you met your Norm? Did you meet Norm online?
No, I met him in the hospital.
Oh my God! So you took advantage of him?
No. He was working. He was taking care of my nephew. He worked at the hospital, and him and I just clicked.
Married a doctor?
No, he's not a doctor. Right now he's a postal supervisor.
That's almost a doctor.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Mail-in.
They deliver. They deliver things.
They do deliver.
They deliver.
Yeah, this Teo is just, it just doesn't add up.
It does not.
This guy that apparently was behind. And did you know that the whole scheme is, like you were saying, this is a very prevalent issue. A lot of people actually are scammed like this.
Oh, no, I know.
I don't necessarily think it happened to Teo,
No, I don't think so.
but it comes from this movie or something called Catfish. Have either of you ever heard of that? Apparently this movie or whatever it was, I guess it's a movie, is all about one of those elaborate plots, and it's going to be real interesting over the next couple
Well, and the
of
main
days.
thing that first thing I went to was how badly he played in the.
Exactly, I know that he played terrible.
It did like he didn't show up.
He missed tackles. He never missed tackles. And you start thinking to yourself, there was some stuff on his mind.
Yeah,
you do.
There was some stuff on his mind because it came out December 27th or something like that.
Now the story,
I still say he was not part of the scheme. He's embarrassed.
Now I thought that the December 27th or whatever is when he told Notre Dame about it. He actually found out, I think, earlier in December, like
I
December
think that's right.
6th or
but
something.
they knew about it then, and they began their research on it, I think. Then.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, and I'm wondering if he had played a game prior or after December 6th. I don't know. The season might have been over by that point. So his next game was the national championship.
I think
All
that's
right.
right, yeah.
We come back. Let's talk about, get the preacher's opinion on Lance Armstrong. Somebody that was Norm's hospital. You know how they have two people in a room? This guy just sent me a text and said Patty Waddell has lied, that he was there, that Patty gave Norm a sponge bath, and they fell in love. Patty, why didn't you just come clear? Were you not even listening to our conversation?
The cover-up.
No
This is Pink Floyd. And by the way, we dedicate this song to all the veterans and all those who've lost their lives in our wars. ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I got a quote from Bulldog Nation member Kenny. This is too good. This is too good. You know, relative to whether he's innocent or not, Bulldog Nation member Kenny says, not sure yet if he is involved, but if he's 100% victim, he is a true dumbass, and Notre Dame should revoke his credit hours and ask him to leave.
Yeah, I mean, either way, he's an idiot.
And you see, that's my point, is he's got issues now, whether he's... Oh, my God. All right, Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
You know what's really sick is they say now that Live Strong and all that cancer stuff was a deflection to, hey, I'm doing some good here, leave me alone. But you know what? Here's the thing that's different about Lance Armstrong's thing. If Lance Armstrong suffered in silence, it was him against the world, and he just was living that lie, it's a little different than what he did. He not only had others participate in the lie, he was downright cruel and freaking mean and almost like mafia-like to people, like a big bully, so I have no sympathy. What is you're a preacher, Lance Armstrong comes to your church, gets on his knees and says, I have a confession, what do you do? No, I'm just, what is your perspective on Lance Armstrong, Dan Francis?
Well, I've watched him for years, really. I've been inspired by him. I have T-shirts, Live Strong, you know, and all that. Because
have you burnt those yet?
No, I have not. Okay. I'm not going to. I put too
Okay.
much good money in them.
Okay.
Although I think they're discounted right now, so I may buy a couple more. No, the sad part to me is exactly what you said. It's not just that he told a lie that influenced him. He told a lie, and then to perpetrate it, he was meaner than a scoundrel to people. And
very mean.
Yeah, the story comes out like he told the masseuse, he passed the story around that she was a prostitute. I mean, he just went off the deep end. I read the Sports Illustrated article, and Doc did a good article the other day about it when the report finally came out. So I'm just really disappointed, and I wish he would understand that, telling the lie and then trying to cover it up is the worst thing. And whenever you finally come out with people, the first thing they're going to ask is, did you come out because you had to, or because you got caught, or because... And in this case, there's no doubt, he came out because he needed to clean up things.
Well, when Garrett came out of the closet... I mean, no, I shouldn't have said on the radio.
What?
Go ahead.
It's confident.
Go ahead.
Confidential.
Well, just the thing to me about you, I think you mentioned yesterday, the legal stuff, and I had not thought, Bulldog, but... I kept saying he's not going to come out because of the legal issues, but what you said is that he may have that money stuffed away somewhere else.
I'm watching Bill O'Reilly. I'm watching all of these, and this drives me nuts. In fact, I'm sending a memo today to the television folks to point out yet another one of these issues. I'm hearing all this stuff about Lance Armstrong, and not one national political legal analyst that I'm sitting there watching doesn't say, what's probably going on is he's put this off long enough to get his house, quote unquote, in order, and his money is going to be in trusts that they can't get to, offshore accounts, in kids' names, so forth and so on. And let me just say this: it's either that, or he is like really completely distraught and falling apart. But he seems to me to be a guy that likes to control based on his track record. So I can't fathom that he's doing that. But this is a huge mistake. I crack up all the time when I see lawyers tell their clients to do things that are dumb. And here we go again. It's like Pete Rose. It was stupid for Pete Rose. People tell him, oh, Pete, if you confess, you can just get back in there. No, 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 no. As soon as you confess, it's like, I say all along. Because if you don't confess, you at least have those people that are going to believe you no matter what. Your close circle. So this is a huge mistake for him to ever come out, in my opinion. And if he doesn't have all of his money protected, it's really stupid because, like, now, he's completely exposed. But I just can't believe none of the national legal analysts aren't smart enough to point that out. You know why? Because they don't practice law. They sit around thinking they know everything, and they don't. But Lance Armstrong was just a bully. I mean, a bully.
A control freak, too.
Oh,
like
big
you said,
time.
a control freak. And he's got a lot of apologies to make. If he's going to come out, he's got a lot of apologies to make.
He sure does have a lot of apologies. Good old Lance. Live strong. People throwing those bands away left and right. My goodness. Good old Lance Armstrong. You know, in Watergate, the cover-up is always the worst.
Right.
I'm going to go through the Drudge because it's always fun to go through Drudge at the end of the show. Some of those Americans that were seized in Algeria, some of them have gotten away. How do you like that? There's lawmakers have introduced a bill to cut Joe Biden's salary. He's overpaid. Good God. What would he pay him for? You know, what do we pay him for? There is a medical malpractice case out there. Guess what? The allegation is the surgeon left 16 items in the body cavity of the person. Now, if you don't like medical malpractice case, do you think you could support that one? 16 items left in their body? That's crazy. What do you think about the Bob Schieffer, Pastor Dan, comparing Barack Obama's battle against the gun lobby is the same as us defeating Hitler?
I think that's a bit strong.
I think it's a bit stupid.
Yeah, it is.
I can be nicer than you. I'm a lawyer. You're a
Yes,
preacher.
that's correct.
See, these, you know what, these issues, Teo and Armstrong, this is why I always thought a lawyer and a preacher show would be good, because these things always have elements of legal and moral. Right. And since lawyers are immoral, you could cover that part.
The law and the grace.
And the law. You know, speaking of grace, you know, Nancy Grace threw down on the Sarah Jones case when it first broke. And I challenged her. I mean, I was talking to people that are involved in her show. And I said, have me on, Nancy. I said, I'll come up. True story. Never had me on. Scared to death of me. I would have eaten her alive.
You know, most of those folks like a very controlled environment.
You're right.
They like
you're right.
To doing their shtick.
Yeah, they don't know how to really do a free, you know, show.
Right.
Absolutely not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. This song is one of my favorite Eddie Money songs. I introduced to my cousin Josh, and it became his favorite song. Isn't it good to share music? You bond through music. Like Jake shares with his music, we never listen to it.
Right.
Because it's like out there, the alternative. name a crazy group, Jake, that I have no idea who the hell they are.
The Casualties.
The Casualties. Have you heard of the Casualties?
I think aren't they in your law practice? The Casualties. Don't you have a wing in your law practice? The Casualties.
We have a nurse. You know, there was a wreck outside my law office the other day, and we really rolled out. We made coffee, lemonade.
That, yeah.
You see,
I heard about that. Yeah.
All right, this is Give Me Some Water on ClassX Radio. ClassX Radio. If you are coming in tomorrow or next week or sometime to do our traffic, although, I don't know, it gets kind of be a pain in the butt lining up all these different traffic reporters. I think we need a full-time one. Someone who definitely is not going to get that job is our traffic reporter today, Patty Waddell, who forgot to bring in her laptop. Patty, how does it feel to be shamed so publicly on the radio time and time again?
Not bad at all. I'm used to it.
She's just happy to be here.
You're used to being shamed publicly?
Like Manti?
Manti?
You're like Manti Teo? Are you the woman? Are you really her?
No.
Thanks for being a good sport. Garrett, we got to give them some traffic, though, because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on out there, so let them have it.
Yeah, we do. I bet they, looks like they finally opened up southbound 7175 at the Fort Washington Way, but in Hamilton County, in Hamilton County, injury accident on Ronald Reagan, 126 eastbound at 75, stop and go traffic from Galbraith. In Fort Mitchell, injury accident on Dixie Highway at 7175. Cincinnati, injury accident on Mulhauser at International Boulevard. Injury accident on Coleraine Avenue at West Fork Road. In Kenton, an accident on 7175 northbound, north of KY 37 Buttermilk Pike. In Kenton, disabled vehicle on the entrance ramp at I-7175 north at KY 371, that's Buttermilk. In Cincinnati, accident cleared. Cleared. And then in Hamilton, ramp reopened, 7175. Yeah, that's the one that, so they finally reopened the Fort Washington Way ramp.
All right, thank you very much. Good old Manti.
I think I'm getting pretty good at traffic.
You are. What did Chicago Sun-Times say about the Manti Te'o story?
The headline reads, "Fool's Gold."
Ooh.
I like that one. It's a good one.
All right, let's talk about some more things with Pastor Dan here. Have you seen the movie yet? The current movie, Les Miserables. Les Miserables.
I'm married, and so I saw it. Yes, my wife really wanted to see
Hugh
it.
Jackman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She wanted to see Hugh Jackman. Yeah. My wife saw it twice.
Did she?
Once with her mom, once with me.
Well, it was too long.
It was too long.
Yeah, I thought it was too long. Other than that, it was some class. I'm not an opera singing kind of musical guy.
Yeah.
So I went with some real.
But it didn't bother me.
No, it didn't.
Their music didn't.
5 minutes into it, you forgot it was that.
But I want to say this: the story is awesome.
The best story ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the best story about humanity. I say everybody should read the book, see the movie at least once in their life. Kentucky Bar Council ought to see it 6 times. But the bottom line is it's awesome.
And you have a classic. I understand a classic copy of the book.
Yes, Victor Hugo.
That's right.
Banned from France.
Yes.
And you know, his son says, I read this in the Wall Street Journal, his son wanted him to dish because he was very anti-Catholic, dish the bishop who was so kind and humble because it was the antithesis of what was really going on in France. And he said he wanted to shame them by saying, look, see, this is the way you should be.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I read a story about that as well. But it's a classic story, and whenever you can do a story that not only is good, but it has some historical connections, I think,
I just want you to know it's nice to have you in here so I can talk literature, with Garrett and Jake. If it's not sports or pop culture, they're very limited.
Right.
So it's good to have
that crap.
It's good to have somebody like you.
I'm an educated hillbilly.
An educated hillbilly.
Yeah.
Now, what about your homes? What about your home's Bulldogs? Do I have the head coaching position of their football team yet?
All you got to do is give me a name, give me a resume, and I will make my way down there and talk to the Bulldogs.
All right. I'm going to do that. All right, where are you? Ashley Mosier, get off your guff and give me your resume.
They are 19-0 now. 19-0
in basketball.
Maysville, that's right. Beat Maysville the other night, and they are Mason County. They look good. This kid, that's Bolden kid, is a sophomore. He's got a crossover dribble that breaks ankles, man. He's really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I remember I used to do that. Crossover, coming to Latin, and that guy from Cincinnati Christian would just break his ankles. So right there, man. I broke St. Rita's of the deaf and dumb and blind. I do that crossover, they fall over just
every
like that.
Time.
And seriously, I got to tell you a story about this, playing St. Rita's. And I'm sensitive about it. I got my brother's got cerebral palsy. I don't make fun of handicapped people. You treat them straight up is what I do. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, St. Rita's beat us my senior year. They broke a record for how many points they scored in their gym. I'm not kidding you, man. And in front, I'm going to admit I did this. Okay,
7?
I was a punk.
7 points.
I'm going to admit that I did this. And one, it stole the ball from me or something, and I tripped the guy on purpose. And the referee didn't see it. And I got away with it, and I was like, nah, dang it, you're going to whoop me.
The cover-up was worse than the lie, wasn't it?
Yes.
Pushed him over.
I wasn't a bad punk at 15, but at 15 I did a few punky things.
Mischievous.
But I was, mischievous. I would never cross the line and get in real trouble, but they St. Rita's kicked our butts, but the crossover dribble.
It's not a foul if they don't blow the whistle.
That's right.
Oh my God, that was a weird game. It was just weird because I'm not. I mean,
I can imagine.
No, I'm being serious. It was. I mean, you know, you're used to other teams, you know, vocally,
Sure.
and it wasn't. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I think it kind of psyched us out. I mean, it was kind of weird.
They didn't. Yeah, I guess.
Everything in slow motion. You know, you couldn't get caught up.
Yeah, good old Holmes Bulldogs.
That's right. They are really good.
I was born to be a Bulldog down
You
here.
were. That's exactly right.
Why don't we coach them together? I'll be the head football coach. You do all the practices.
I can
I'll do
do
the
that.
games.
All right. That sounds like a Bulldog arrangement. All I know is, where are you going to be on payday?
Hey, Coach,
Hey,
I want to be on the team, but I don't want to practice.
Hey, in all seriousness, this handsome gray-haired guy here looks like a college or a pro head football coach.
He does.
You do, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You look like you could coach an SEC team.
Hey, I could go in a lot of living rooms and talk to their kids.
Be a recruiter.
That's right. I'm a recruiter.
Especially the Christian ones.
That's right.
You believe in Jesus? Well, then you need to believe in my team.
If you don't, I want you to play anyway.
You could use Jesus.
Hey, if you can run the 40 and 4.3, we don't care if you're an atheist.
Jesus doesn't like to lose, son.
Jeez, we're cracking ourselves up here. Oh my goodness. When you all played music back in the day, when you were in a band, Pastor Dan Francis from StayInTheRoom.com.
What was it like back in the 30s?
What was your favorite? What were some of your favorite bands that play music?
Oh well, my first concert at age 12 was the Beatles, and so I've been around.
Played some Beatles.
I played some Beatles.
Damn.
Three Dog
awesome.
Night.
I like Three Dog Night.
Yeah.
Mama told me not to come.
And of course, I like the Doobie Brothers. I've been to a few of their concerts.
Of course.
Michael McDonald.
Hey, you're going to destroy your image talking about doobies.
No, I'm not. I'm a clean guy.
That's right. My band.
No, I had a past. I had my BC days before Christ days.
I like that.
So I lived on the other side.
That's why you're so lovable. That's right. You know what? When you're a sinner first, you can be a better saint.
That's for sure.
Just like Jean Valjean.
I loved him, man.
You know what's amazing about that story? It's not just the humanity, but Javert just could not let it go.
Oh man!
And how it just destroyed him. He could not let it go.
Russell Crowe. I just couldn't see him in that role initially.
He did a good job.
Halfway through, you hated the guy. I mean,
Right.
he was so law.
Right.
And my wife said, "Why could he kill himself?" I said, "Because everything needed to fit in a place. He was so in control.
Right.
He couldn't stand not being in control.
Right.
And Grace blew him away.
Right.
He couldn't
handle it.
He couldn't handle it.
You let me go. You're not supposed to let me go. You're supposed to kill
He was
me.
supposed to kill me.
It blew his mind.
It did. It really did.
Whoa.
What in God's name are you two talking
You're going to read a book this week.
That's
okay?
right. We got to get him. Can we get him the Cliff Notes version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creedence,
They make a movie out of it?
Creedence Clearwater Revival. This is one of my favorite songs. You like this song? Have you
I
ever
do.
seen Rain?
I
sunny
love
day.
it. I love it, and
Oh,
I've
man,
seen
man.
it, felt it, and experienced it.
CCR. It is weird when it's raining when it's sunny out.
It is.
Yeah. Patty
You
Waddell.
ever-
Patty Waddell. Maybe that was her excuse for not bringing her laptop. She was worried it was going to rain on it.
And yeah, that could have been it. That
Was
could have
that
been
the why?
Yeah.
She did bring us donuts. Of course, he only ate 6 of them.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's.
No, he
I
only
ate
ate
6. Yeah.
You had 3.
4.
We come back with some more Radio Superbity on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. All right, Patty Waddell, do you have any closing comments about what a wonderful experience you had being here on the radio and getting beat up for not bringing your laptop?
It's been a lot of fun just watching you guys all just act so.
Patty, in all seriousness, thanks for being a good sport. I love you to death. Patty's a good fan, good friend, and a good client. And funny story, I couldn't make an event where I was supposed to be an MC, and I sent Chuck, and wasn't he like a silent auction or a loud auction? And I tell you right now, he hit it because he got a certificate.
Whoa.
He got an award.
Yeah, did you get that? Did you
Chuck,
send it to him?
it's nice having Chuck. He doesn't look like me, but he fills in for me.
Yeah.
He once did a 15-minute of a 1-hour online chat with the Enquirer playing me, and every freaking answer was just like I would have answered it.
That's really scary, man. That's really scary.
All right, can you shoot that microphone over to Chuck?
Sure.
Chuck, what exciting things do you got to do for the Bulldog Nation today?
Well, we have a PI meeting at 10:30, and
what's that mean to the moron like myself?
Personal injury.
See?
We have a cause against the Campbell County Jail, which is a cause.
I was going to say that, but I didn't think if I should say that.
I don't mind saying it. If you or a loved one has been to the Campbell County Jail and nearly died because they didn't give you any of your medicine, you might want to call the Bulldog.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible what's gone over there.
We're digging in deep on that laundry list of folks down there. Yeah.
Well, Pastor Dan's going to be in here for me Thursday. By the way, remember that, Chuck. I got that trial. If you want to be in over here on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the last hour next week, feel free. Or you can also be down at the trial if you want, doesn't matter.
Okay.
We got a good moral perspective of the Notre Dame middle linebacker, Lance Armstrong, from here from Preacher Dan. Is there anything else going on immoral in the world? I got to ask you this, as a preacher. What's your position on gun controls and guns in schools? And would you like to have an armed guard volunteer at your church so your church doesn't get all shot up?
Are your grandchildren as important as Obama's children?
Do you provide armed guards at your daycare?
We don't have a daycare anymore.
Okay.
But we are talking about, just some security issues at our place. And I think I tongue-in-cheek kidded you the other day. I believe in gum control legislation. That is keeping your trap shut when you have a vested interest in it. I just get weary of both sides, either hiding behind the First Amendment, the left, and the right hiding behind the Second Amendment, when there are some security issues that we can all agree about. And so I'm trying to take the middle road here, but gun control is just,
Don't you think it's immoral?
We're dance around the question, Dan.
Yeah. Thank you, Garrett. Don't you think it's immoral that the President of the United States wants those little kids up on the stage that he's waving to? Did he tell them, hey, I'm not going to protect you and your schools with guns, but my kids, we got all kinds of guns protecting them? Don't you think it's immoral that the President of the United States thinks his kids are worthy of gun protection and not your kids, my kids, and everybody else's kids? It gets me revved up.
I don't think he said that.
But that's what he means.
I think he allotted money for resource people to be in the schools. There was an allotment of money for, I think I saw 1,100 or something for allotment of.
Throw some money at it. Throw some money at it.
Throw some money at it.
I bet you every community in this country would have volunteers of retired military, police, security that would take a day to be the guardian of the school. Wouldn't cost them anything besides making sure the screening and everything else. It wouldn't cost them anything else, in my humble opinion.
I think that's
people would
possibly
volunteer
true
for that job. I would.
I agree.
I think that's true. My wife gets nervous when she thinks somebody's sitting at the door with a, she's a teacher, sitting at the door with a gun, because
does she conceal carry?
I can't reveal that to you right now.
All right. She doesn't. I'm just joking. I have no idea if she does or not. We have probing questions.
I would not be afraid to have somebody that conceal carry that, as long as they've got.
Did you or did you not? This is not a cross-examination.
You and I conceal carry all the time because we got all that karate training in us.
Have you ever heard the pint of blood technique?
No. Tell me about it.
This is interesting. I learned this from Eddie Murphy, and I've tried it out a few times, and it really works.
Yep.
And just wanted, as a fellow martial artist, I want to share this with you. Here we go.
Okay.
Turn it off. That's in Beverly Hills Cop when he's in jail.
I do remember that.
I about rolled off my chair during that scene.
I do
remember
remember
blood
that.
technique. Oh, you did pretty good. Have you ever seen the movie Kung Pao?
I don't think I have. No.
God, that is a funny movie. They parody those Chinese martial arts movies with a white American as the hero. I laughed so hard in that first 15 minutes of that movie, people around me yelled at me. Will you shut up? I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I do that. I laugh too much. Garrett, is your mom going to come back and do traffic again for us?
We could ask her back.
So far, who do you think's the best?
My mom. Of course.
I have to vote for Prickle. She had the best voice.
Horrible.
She had the best voice. You know.
She had a nice voice. I remember hearing.
You remember? She had a good voice.
She was.
Some of them talk too. They talk too soft. You know, they got to speak up like you and I
Sarah
do.
Jones.
Yeah, she speaks too soft.
I asked Rebecca if she wanted to do it. She said no.
There's no way.
That'd be a
Rebecca
great
would
one
do
for
it.
Rebecca to do.
I
Rebecca.
said they'd probably be nice to you.
We'd be nice to you. You can come in and help her. Here, Rebecca. Here's what it is. Those are, just let you know on the inside of the joke. Rebecca says 3 words during the course of the day. I love you, Chuck.
And
she doesn't talk.
those are whispers.
She doesn't talk very much. Well, Preacher Dan, thank you, and thanks for
Great
coming
to
in
be
next
back.
week. Patty, thank you. Chuck, thank you. Jake, thank you. Garrett, thank you. You're the best, buddy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, American Jury, we'll be back Monday with Radio Superbity. Tell your fans, your friends, and everybody else to join us. Every dog has their day. I hope today is yours on ClassX Radio.